Morning, everybody. Just wanted to offer my thoughts about the Killer Mike arrest. I don't know if any of you watching know who he is, but he's an activist and a rapper in the Atlanta area, and was arrested during the Grammys allegedly because there was some confusion about what door he was supposed to go in for the ceremonies. And a security guard alleged that he put his hands on her, and she had sustained some injuries to her, I guess, hands. Maybe she fell down or something. So, the thing that I thought about was, besides the fact that if this was, I don't know, Eminem, I don't know, insert any white actor, artist, rapper. Anyways, Harry Mack. Let's say Harry Mack. Good looking dude, just like Killer Mike. Got a beard. His stuff has gone viral. Let's say he won the award. Mm, I don't think there would have been the same level of escalation and reaction. And this is just not a secret that this kind of thing happens. Um, and is there a different level of reaction when it comes to the black and brown community? When it comes to cops or security guards mishandling a situation or not de-escalating or learning how to diffuse a situation. I mean, from what I've learned from listening, learning, talking to people on my Sports Daily podcast, reading, um, understandably so, because of the two different narratives and actions and behaviors that take place when it comes to the arrests and the types of questions and profiling that exists. Uh, the answer is probably yes. But the other thing I thought about is, in sports, there's nuance. So in basketball, for example, when you're playing defense, sometimes you'll put a little hot stove armbar, or you'll touch the defender. There's a little gamesmanship sometimes. If you're just trying to let them know, not only is there a hot stove there defensively, but you're trying to get really close to them because you're trying to let them know that um, they're going to have to deal with you. And sometimes what the offensive player will do with their back to you, say there's a defender right behind me here by the Coach Prime jersey. What I would do is if I had the ball, it's sort of a control thing. The defender is trying to tell you that you're his little, you know what, I dare you to try and do something because I'm right here with you and I'm going to keep this hand right in your back, you little bee. And so what you do as the offensive player is you slap their hand away. Now, as long as you don't do it egregiously, you just sort of move the hand away, the referee is probably not going to call a foul on either person. So I don't know what happened, but I do know this. One of the scenarios could be that Killer Mike was like, look, I'm going in. I'm part of these ceremonies. I don't care what kind of list you have. I don't, I'm going in. So, you know, and she maybe put her hands on him and was like, "Hold on a second, and then it could have escalated quickly. And he, just like I described with basketball, how you just sort of move the hand away, like, don't put your hands on me. Like, are you crazy? Like, who are you touching? Like, don't touch me. Because I have a really hard time believing, excuse me, that uh, Killer Mike just all of a sudden put his hands on a security guard. Now, I don't know if she's white, black. It just said that she was female. And I mean, I hope she's okay, of course. If you know anything about me, um, I'm a huge proponent of women of color, marginalized communities of any kind. But this isn't that, from what I can tell. So, not only would the situation have most likely been handled differently if it was a white person, but most likely that's probably what happened. Now, was he overzealous and trying to go in? No idea. Was he calm the whole time? I would probably say yeah. And then he acknowledged that there was a misunderstanding about which door he was supposed to go into. But most likely, that security guard put her hands on him, even if she didn't mean it to be aggressive or, you know, and I'm just guessing. What probably happened was he was like, "Who are you putting your hands on? Like, don't touch me. Are you crazy?" Probably just either said, "Don't touch me," or moved her away. He's a strong dude. And maybe she fell and scratched her hands or whatever. But the other thing is, congratulations to Killer Mike for being awarded the Rap Album of the Year. But also, more importantly, his son, I think it was a kidney transplant that was needed. And he got the news that his son was going to be the recipient of a kidney transplant. Whew, man, that's amazing. And Killer Mike has done some unbelievable work in terms of advocacy and um, social injustice and getting out in his community and helping so many people, his people, and just the community at large. And I just think these unfair narratives need to be called out for what they are, especially by white influencers. Now, if you heard me before on my podcast, I'm going to say it loud and say it time and time again about someone like Brooke Baldwin speaking out and using her platform, which she did on Instagram. I don't know if the post was today or yesterday, or the day before, but she wrote the book. She used to be on CNN, and she made a post on Instagram, and she's an American journalist, and she left CNN. I don't know, probably about a year ago, and she wrote a book, and she's doing some other things now, and she said she met Killer Mike and interviewed him, and she claimed that if she had to interview one person, it would be Killer Mike. And it was, and don't quote me, one of the things she said was that she loved that he said you have to go out of your comfort zone and have conversations and spend time with people that don't think like you and then in particular don't look like you. And she talked about her white privileged upbringing in the Atlanta area. And Killer Mike's from the Atlanta area, and he did not have a privileged upbringing. And so, and people always ask me why I bring up race, and I do want solutions. And one of the best ways to get solutions is to put things out here on social media in a thoughtful way, sometimes not a thoughtful way, to get the message across. But film don't lie, as we know in sports. If we watch film and we see something, statistics can lie, but film typically doesn't lie. And so that's why it's such a powerful tool to call things out for what they are that used to be swept under the rug, or in a he said, she said situation. Uh, there was no proof, but now we have proof all over the place. And so this is why I'm so critical, and flowers to Brooke Baldwin for coming out to Killer Mike's defense and supporting him publicly. Because I got to be honest with you, I haven't seen many other white people that have supported Killer Mike. Maybe they have privately, but I haven't seen them come out and say, see, this is the thing. People want to have proof before they come out, and which, on some level I can understand. But let's just do the out loud test. Let's just talk about common sense. Killer Mike is up for a Grammy. He's going into the facility and where the ceremonies are being held. You think he put his hands on somebody first? I mean, distinct possibility. But do you really think that's what the narrative is? Or do you think all of this is because a woman put her hands on him and he was like, please don't touch me? Or like, are you crazy? Like, get your hands off me. She lost her balance. And either way, someone's body of work speaks for itself. And so when you don't see white people coming to the defense of people of color, in this case, Killer Mike, it just shows you that we still have a long ways to go. Now, I have very little influence. I have 2 people in here watching right now. I may get 100 people that watch this. I don't get very many people that watch my stuff. I've had nearly 10 million views in the last 4 years of all my videos, of 3,700 videos. And if you take out the one video that has 3.1 million views about Farrakhan, that leaves about 6.5 million views for 3,700 videos. Alexa, what is 3,700 divided by 6.5 million?
3,700 divided by 6.5 million is approximately 0.0006.
I didn't say that the right way. Alexa, stop. Alexa, what is 6.5 million divided by 3,700?
6.5 million divided by 3,700 is approximately 1,756.7568.
Okay, so I get an average of 1,756 views for every one of my videos that I've put up here on YouTube in the last 4 years, about 3,700. Now, that's not a lot. And so I don't have the reach that a lot of people have. And so this is why I don't understand why in 2020 I could sort of wrap my head around some stuff. In 2016 with Colin Kaepernick, I could sort of wrap my head around some stuff. And well, I know why. Because the Peyton Mannings and the Eli Mannings and the Aaron Rodgers and the Tom Bradys and the Tony Romos and the Troy Aikmans and all the NFL owners and all the NBA owners and all the Major League Baseball owners and all the NHL owners, if they come and speak out, there's going to be backlash still on some level. Not to the point of Craig Hodges and Mahmoud Abdul-Rauf in the 90s where they lost their jobs. But Bruce Maxwell still is not playing in Major League Baseball because he kneeled. And you know who didn't kneel with him? White Major League Baseball players, white Major League owners, white Major League managers. You know why Colin Kaepernick is not playing in the NFL right now still? Because the white quarterbacks and the white owners and the white players sided with number 45. And if they had kneeled, just like Brooke Baldwin spoke out and showed her support, unwavering support for Killer Mike, Colin Kaepernick may not be in the league because of his play after at least having another shot to get back in the league. But because there was a lack of support for Colin Kaepernick, and still is the case today, he still has not played. So, anyways, I just wanted to give a shout out to Killer Mike. Not only congratulatory shout out for winning Rap Album of the Year, but for his son getting the good news about a liver transplant. Is it liver or kidney? Don't quote me. I think it's kidney transplant. Um, and how these two narratives would have been vastly different had this been Harry Mack, who uh, probably wouldn't have even been arrested. Let's be fully honest about the situation. Uh, and it's unfortunate that this type of thing is still going on. And so I appreciate you guys watching, whether you're watching this on the replay or you are here live passing through. And most of you will see this on the replay. But I just got a new bowling pin. It was $3, and this was the best one of the ones that they had. All the rest of them had like a little crack on the tip here. So I appreciate the shout out. Somebody just gave me a thumbs up. Now, I don't know if somebody gave me a thumbs up because they like Larry Bird or Paige Beckers. I don't know if you can put the thumbs up specifically like over something, like in a specific spot. Because this happened yesterday when I was on here and somebody did the thumbs up, it's a little bubble thumbs up. So on the replay, I don't know if you guys can see that. But I just see the thumbs up when somebody does a thumbs up, and it pops up, generates a little bubble with a thumbs up. And one time it was here, one time it was over here. Also, again, it's Breast Cancer Awareness Week with regards to, that's not what it's called, but it's basically the theme, with the coaches all around the country. And no matter when you're watching this, just remember there's 2,700 new cases of breast cancer every year with men. And about 500 of those men will pass away. So it's important that not only women, but men do their monthly self breast examinations. And you want to go from the breastbone all the way over to the armpit, up to the collarbone, all the way down the rib cage, all the way over, and back up the breastbone again. Now, you either want to go in a circular method, you want to go in a vertical up and down all the way and covering all those areas, or wedged, back and forth in a wedge shape formation. And early detection is the key. So be sure to contact your primary if you notice anything, or go to urgent care. Trust your instincts when it comes to that kind of thing. I think that's about it right now. Looking forward to the Super Bowl. Wish my Lions were in it. But if you're new to the Sports Daily Podcast, this is the background typically that I use for my podcast. It's a social injustice, equality, mental health podcast that talks about the intersection between race and sports, mental health, leadership, equality, social injustice, and white privilege. And big fan of women's college basketball. You can see I got some of the best players in the country. Their shirts or jerseys here. We got Juju Watkins from the University of Southern California. Shout out to Cheryl Miller. Thanks for the thumbs up. It doesn't tell me who does that. Like when you're on TikTok or some other platform, if somebody sends you a gift or puts a thumbs up or taps the screen, stuff like that, it tells you who does it. So whoever that was, I appreciate it. And it shows that I have nobody in here right now, but somebody just gave me a thumbs up. So maybe we got 1,000 people in here, but it's showing 0 right up here. And so we have Juju Watkins over here. She's leading the University of Southern California Trojans to a great season so far. They're going to get in the NCAA tournament. Their coach, Lindsay Gottlieb, was on the show. Great two-part interview with her. At the time, she was with the Cleveland Cavaliers. And look what the Cleveland Cavaliers have been doing. And she was a big part of getting that organization turned around after LeBron left. And obviously, we have Angel Reese right here for the Louisiana State University um, women's basketball program, helping them win a national championship last year. The GOAT, Caitlin Clark, the big 2-2 in the house, Paige Beckers, who will also be a top 5 pick whenever she decides to come out for the WNBA draft. UConn star guard, and Alyssa Pilley over here, who used to play at USC with Juju Watkins. Well, she didn't play with Juju Watkins, but she was at USC. Can you imagine if those two were playing together at USC? Hello. But she's helping Utah have another great season. And they're going to go to the NCAA tournament as well. Looking forward to watching them play in the tourney. And then obviously we have Colin Kaepernick. Shout out to Colin Kaepernick right here. And then the two players that changed basketball in the 90s. One of the top 5 players in the history of basketball, Irvin Magic Johnson, and Larry Bird, one of the top 10 players. So I guess I'm going to go walk the dogs. I hope you guys have an amazing day. Shout out to Coach Prime, Neon Dion Primetime Sanders as well. Thanks for the thumbs up. Appreciate it. So the thumbs up keeps coming up over here. So maybe somebody likes the WBL, or maybe it's just it's a random thumbs up. But I don't have any chats, and I don't see anybody specifically being named as to who the thumbs up is and where it's coming from. So this up here was last year's early season rankings. The high school that I coach at, we actually had a number 1 ranking for the first time in school history. So I don't know if that will ever happen again. I'm going to be coaching college basketball in 5 years. I got 5 years left at my current stint. This is a letter from Coach K. He sent me a letter. I sent him a letter. Thanks for the thumbs up. I appreciate that. He sent me a letter after I sent him a letter, just letting him know I hope he was okay after his back surgery. This is a WBL basketball. This is the original W, the Women's Basketball League, which was started in the late 70s. We've had a number of them on the show as well. And this is a personally autographed Pyramid of Success from Coach Wooden that was given to me by Steve Lavin, the current coach at the University of San Diego. And shout out to Coach Lav. They had a big win last night. They're 2 games over 500. Lav's doing a great job. I'm telling you right now, the University of San Diego job is not an easy job. For most coaches, it is. Hank Eakin did a great job back in the day, who ended up going to the San Antonio Spurs and the Cleveland Cavaliers, and rode off into the sunset with his pension. Great coach. And if you don't know the history of the University of San Diego, man, you will not believe who came out of the University of San Diego in terms of coaches. From Greg Popovich to Musselman to Mike Brown to Bernie Bickerstaff. I mean, arguably the best coaching tree in the history of any college basketball program, including Tara Vanderveer's coaching tree, including Coach K's coaching tree, Rick Pitino, Dean Smith, like the coaching tree from the University of San Diego, that I just named a few. You would not believe who has come out of the coaching tree from the University of San Diego. And Lav's doing a great job. He was on the Sports Daily podcast also as well. We've had Jay Billis on the Sports Daily podcast. We've had Doug Williams, first African-American NFL Super Bowl MVP, quarterback from the Washington Redskins at the time, on trying to get Mahmoud Abdul Rauf on the show. He is going to come on. He has said that he's going to come on. But he's just very busy with his son's basketball season right now, and his travel schedule is very busy. We've had Etan Thomas, who played with Michael Jordan, played at Syracuse for the legendary coach Jim Boeheim. We've had over 200 episodes. Major League Baseball, NFL, Olympians, media members, NBA, WNBA, Major League Soccer, and NWSL, the National Women's Soccer League. I mean, we've had professional golfers. We've had a lot of phenomenal, unbelievable interviews on the Sports Daily podcast. So I encourage you to go to the podcast tab um, on the Sports Deli channel here and check out some of those interviews. You can also listen to them on any of the audio platforms out there, from Audible to Spotify to Apple Podcasts, whatever your favorite audio platform is. And this is a Bless You Boys book right here. This was about the 1984 Detroit Tigers that started 35-5, the best start in the history of Major League Baseball. This is a jersey over here, Athletes Unlimited. Shout out to John Patrikoff, who came on the show, the co-founder of Athletes Unlimited. Obviously, I'm a Lions fan, as you can tell there. Shout out to Title IX in his 50th anniversary year last year. This is 51st year this year. And shout out to Kelly Hayes and Ann Myers Drysdale. Both of them have been on the show. Shout out to Judy Sweet, first female president in the history of the NCAA. And we've just had some historic guests on here. Essence Carson from the WNBA. We've had two members of Team Canada women's basketball, Aislinn Koenig and Kayla Alexander have been on the show, and a number of other Auntie Chantel, Dr. Auntie Chantel, who now works for Nike, has been on the show several times. Elizabeth Galloway McQuitter, president of Legends of the Ball, and one of the original members of the WBL, who actually sent me this ball. So we've created a lot of magic in my studio here. And this is actually a wardrobe shelving unit, and I've turned it into the background for my Sports Daily podcast. So, obviously, I have a lot of opinions about a lot of things. I post a lot of fun videos. I get a lot of very interesting comments here on YouTube. So, shout out to all of you for your engagement, for all the subscribers. We're almost at 25,000, which I remember like it was yesterday when the pandemic started. I was at 42 subscribers. And we have grown organically, and a lot of people have supported the channel. And I will continue to post everything from politics to thoughtful content that hopefully offers some sort of inspiration, motivation, education, transformation. I think I'm funny, a little comedic relief, and hopefully we can go and grow together. And if there's anything that you want me to talk about, please let me know. You can always send me an email to thesportsdeli@gmail.com, thesportsdeli@gmail.com. You can send me a DM on Instagram at Mike Kootner. And I think that's about it for today. Today's game day. We got 2 games left. If we win both of them, then we will tie for our second straight league title. An amazing year, considering we lost 5 seniors last year, who are at Stanford, Cal, the University of Arizona, UC San Diego. Yeah, those 5 seniors, 2 of them went to Cal, 1 went to Stanford, one went to UCSD, and 1 went to Arizona. I've never had seniors go to those types of prestigious institutions. Truly amazing. And we ran the table last year, our second league title since I've been here. This is my 8th year at a low-income first-generation high school. We'd love for you to consider donating. We use that strictly for travel gear, equipment, gas money for the club team, referee fees during the club games in the spring, summer, and fall. It's put to good use. I don't charge anything for my club players except for referee fees. And a lot of clubs out there, whether it's AAU or other clubs for basketball in particular, volleyball, soccer, upwards of anywhere from $1,500 to $3,500 per season. I charge nothing. And so I just think it's invaluable for these kids, especially my kids are low income first gen kids. I do have some other kids from other programs that play on my club team, but I just want to give women in particular and young girls opportunities, and just be a part of helping bridge that gap where not only do girls quit at a much higher rate than boys in sports, but be a good role model and hopefully a good coach to get them to understand the life skills that you get from being on a team. And so it's just much more than a t-shirt. It's just much more than you. It's about all the girls and women out there. It's about Title IX, and it's about being a part of something bigger than yourself and learning how to sacrifice, work hard, grind, and see if you have a passion for something that maybe you didn't even realize you had a passion for. Work on your leadership skills in the process, get better at something, possibly get a scholarship to have your education paid for. And I've been doing this 32 years. And there's not one day that I've woken up and I regret, dread, or don't want to go to work. Uh, Being in the world of, for 20 of the years, tennis, and for all 32 years, basketball. So, again, remember to do your self breast examinations, men and women, and call out any of the injustices that you feel are going on out there, whether it's with your local or state politicians or in any other way. And you do have a voice, even if you are only reaching 5 to 10 people in the beginning. You will see your reach grow like I have. And you don't always have to do these types of direct videos where your face is always on here. You can do a duet, you can do a stitch, you can just do reaction videos. You can just post some sort of photo on Instagram and make a comment and show your support for any injustice that you feel like is going on out there. But again, social media is powerful. We use it in the right way. Obviously, there are consequences if people want to try and shut you up or cancel you for whatever reason, but stay the course. If you saw some of the you saw some of the comments that I've had over the last 4 years with regards to almost 10 million views just on YouTube here alone. If you add TikTok, Instagram, not quite as much because they don't allow a lot of the nasty comments that you see more on TikTok and on YouTube. You just gotta have a very tough exterior, and I try and respond to as many comments as I can. But they're in the tens of thousands, hundreds of thousands, uh, and it's just impossible to get to all of them. But I try. So, all right, guys. Until next time, dogs are waiting. It's a nice day. The rain is gone. I think maybe a slight chance of rain today, but in San Diego we escaped with not too much damage here. I think other parts of California were way worse off than we were. All right, much love, everybody, and thanks for tuning in. And I will see you guys soon. All right, much love. Peace.